everybody? Good to be here. Hey, by the way, I just became an uncle again for the 5th time. And yeah, you're right not to clap because we don't do anything. Being a parent, that's hard work, but being an uncle is easy. That's why there's no, like, books about being an uncle. You know, like, nobody ever wrote, like, what to expect when your sister's expecting, for example. There's no Uncle magazine. A lot of magazines about parenting. There's no Uncle Weekly magazine. What would an article be in that magazine? Is your nephew out of control with drugs and alcohol? Well, since it's not your problem, here's some weekend getaway ideas. Pretty much all you got to do when you're an uncle, just don't touch the kid inappropriately. That's pretty much the only rule. If you do that, you're considered a reasonable uncle. Being a father, a lot more complicated. Someone tells you they had a bad father, that can mean anything. That can mean he wasn't there for you financially, emotionally, he didn't nurture you, he didn't care for you. But if someone says to you, I had a bad uncle, you know exactly what that means. There's no ambiguity there. Right, you never had to ask, why was he a bad uncle? You know damn well why he was a bad uncle. You might ask, how often was he a bad uncle? That might come up. Or where did he bad uncle you? You know, that might come up. I'm from the 70s originally, and I lost my virginity in the 80s. Well, I didn't, but I would have if they had text messaging back then. But that makes things a lot easier. In the old days, you wanted to ask a woman on a date, you had to call her on the phone and have what's known as a conversation. You know how scary that was? I call a girl up, I'd be shaking like a leaf, I'm all nervous. Then she answers, I start to stutter. I'm all timid, I'm like, well, maybe we could have lunch or something if you're not busy. It was terrible, but texting is easy. I'm like, yo, baby girl, what you doing with your fine self? You shake that ass on over here. I would tear that up. Then she gets to my apartment, I'm like, girl, you looking fine tonight. She's like, I'm standing right here. Why are you still texting me? You ever notice people send you a text? People are all obsessed with spelling. They'll send you a text with a typo, and then they can't just let it slide. They got to send you another text a second later with the word spelled correctly. Like, the other day, I'm at a restaurant. My friend texts me, yeah, I'll be there soon. I got to park the cat. Then a second later, I got a text, asterisk, car. Now, I don't mean to brag, but I had actually already figured that out. I didn't think he was walking down the street like, yeah, can I leave my cat here by any chance? Sometimes you send a text to the wrong person, right? You ever do that? That can range in severity from no big deal to your life is over. And speaking of typo, you send a text to the wrong person, you can't cover that up by pretending it was a typo. That would never work. Like if you texted like, hey, my wife doesn't even know we're sleeping together. Asterisk, be home soon, honey. For me, the worst time for me that I ever texted the wrong person, I texted by mistake, come over, I'm horny, to my cousin Sheila. But I apologize. I was like, sorry, cousin Sheila, that was actually meant for somebody else, so sorry you came all the way over here. Sheila, the poor thing is so lonely, you know? I'm from the 70s. I'm 45, but sometimes I lie about my age. Like just a second ago when I said I was 45, for example. I'm actually 46. But you lie about your age, it's not easy because you got to lie about everything. You know, because you'll give your age away very easily. Like one time I told a girl I was 34, and some Nirvana song comes on the radio. I'm like, I saw these guys live back when I was in college. I mean, kindergarten. Speaking of Nirvana, pot is now legal in Washington State, I heard. Oh. Yeah, that's spreading around the country. The first place to make it legal, you remember, was Colorado. I remember because my friend called me up all excited. He's like, Dan, let's go to Colorado. I was like, well, what do you want to go there for? He's like, well, pot is legal there. I said, well, I got a better idea. Let's just smoke it right here in New York. How about that? And we'll close the door. And I think we just might get away with it. I'll bet if we... Hey, thanks. You guys have been great. Thank you very much. That's it for me.